All right, you are on YouTube Live, my friends.
All right, good evening, everybody. It's a little after 7. Apologize for being late. This is a workshop meeting of the Nye Board of Trustees. We're accompanied by Village Administrator Andy Stewart and also Village Treasurer Kyle Coimbra, forgive me. And we see the name written down more than I hear it said. We're going to go over the budget that has been prepared, the tentative budget dated 3/30/2026. You can get it on the NIAC.gov website, but Kyle's going to take us through it and some of the highlights of things that have changed, have not changed, need confirmation, need questions, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll let him take it away.
So I'll hit on some highlight points as I go through here for the general fund.
Pascal, we start on revenues or expenses?
I'm gonna start on the revenues here.
All right.
Let me just give Pascal a copy.
Apologies for my tardiness.
We just started.
All right, so starting with the revenues, we are at the tax cap there without breaking the cap for our property tax. The other key highlights is we are gonna go over what we projected last year on the cannabis. So that was in a very good spot and we upped that this year. There's nothing besides that. That was concerning in the revenues. Everything came in as expected or better than expected. I don't know if there's any questions on any of the revenues or you want me to just.
No, so hotel room occupancy, we're keeping flat. It's been pretty flat.
Mhm.
And the cannabis, which we projected to be
It finished around
about
470,
400, it's going to finish where?
around 470 this year,
Okay.
we're on pace.
Wow.
It's finished 470, so we projected for 450 to be conservative. Okay.
Mhm.
And then property taxes, we've set it with the cap, 2.9%.
Correct.
Okay. The way I generally look at the budget is I look at what the dollar change or percentage change, anything that jumps out at me as being significant, either in dollar amounts that are different or percentage amounts that are different, is worth paying attention to, unless I go in knowing that there's something that I want to adjust, or there's something that I have questions about in terms of our revenues or expenses. Anybody else have anything else on the first page of the revenues? Revenues are always more fun. Oh, here's the back page of revenues. Building permits are always an interesting, so last year, we adopted 250. Our actual year to date is 318. With how many months to go? What does actual go to?
This is as of February, the end of
End
February,
of February. So it's March, April, it's 3 months.
March, April, May.
So it's 9 months out of 12
Mhm.
is the
Which
actual.
line is that for our building department?
57 on the side
It's
there.
the back
57.
page of the first page. It's two-sided document.
Oh.
So if you look on,
I see,
licenses and permits.
yeah.
Line 57 is the building and alteration permits, which, I mean, we had, besides 22, 23, we're at $661,000. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We've been somewhere in the mid threes. We're gonna probably finish around there this year. We're 318, but that's still 3 months to go. And that's a pretty busy building month, those 3 months. I don't know if it's
Wow.
real permanent now, so it's the warmer months. So we're budgeting 330, again, to be relatively conservative on our budgeting.
Mhm.
Even though it's a 32% increase from last year, given the actuals, last year was a little too conservative. And I remember we said that at the time.
Yeah.
We said that Manny was being very conservative on it, and we, said fine, because it's better to have and not need than need and not have. All right. What else as we go down? Fines. Thank you for getting rid of forfeited bail as that line item on 62, because it always raised questions. Because we never had any, we just had fines,
Yeah.
and so fines are, we raised that by
These are
30,000.
fines,
Court, this is all court.
What's that?
This is the court funds.
So we've had, 2023, the year ending 24, we had more than 160. We haven't had that much. 160, so it seems we have reason to think that the fines are gonna go up.
Yes, yeah, they've been very high since we had new court clerks for the last few months. They've been doing significantly better.
Okay,
Um,
what's the
Yes.
theory on that?
they've been budgeting, they've been scheduling a lot more people for these court
Okay.
appearances.
Okay,
Isn't that also a function of the judge, you know, the fines, people
Right.
come to court, whether or not it accepts it or not.
Of course, yes.
So is
is he getting harder?
harder or softer?
I don't think he's getting softer.
He said no change when me and Andy talked with them.
Okay,
All right, but so we're proposing a bit of an
Mhm.
increase based on what we're seeing as the actual, but you're saying the more recent actuals.
Yeah, I think
Trend that
they'll
way.
finish this year close to 150.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay, that's a lot. They do 50,000 in 3 months.
Yeah, they're
Um,
97,000 only has 8 months in it. At the time, I didn't have
Okay,
their check,
okay.
so.
All right, that's pretty much it. I don't have anything else. Anybody have anything else?
to the water department, so this is their contribution to.
That 100,000, that's our agreed upon amount for them to pay.
That's agreed upon,
Mm.
okay.
And they haven't paid it yet this year.
No, the parking water usually gets moved at the end of the year, but
Okay.
Any more questions on revenues?
The AIM allocation,
Yep.
is that
I will stay the
pretty
same.
stable, yeah?
That's the state, that's the
State.
state allocation, goes to every,
Mhm.
goes
Every
by,
municipality gets like the
It
same.
will be the same
But
amount.
it's not gonna change because of all the economic.
No, the state this year is trying to. There was an ask for an increase in AIM. I don't know if it's gonna make it through the final budget, but there was an increase. There was an ask for an increase.
The state asked, the,
No,
but we are, NIAC asked for.
No,
every
it's the
sort of
conference
ask, like NICOM, counties, the mayors, the towns.
They always ask.
They
always
always
ask,
ask,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if you look, it's been the same amount for like 10 years.
Yeah, it's been the same amount for 10 years. They put in a 500, not 500, $100 million increase ask, but my boss wrote the letter, so. Oh, and by her, I mean me, so.
And I see that the mortgage tax, we have a pretty good increase. But year to date, it's more than the budget.
Correct. Yes, that line has always been budgeted pretty low. And you can see almost every year it's been more than what was budgeted last year. So we brought that line up.
So that 135 in the proposed.
Yeah.
Is that too low?
No, I was just trying to be conservative because it's, but, yeah, I just.
It's a pretty erratic number if you look at the history. It
It's
bounces
kind of
around.
all over the place.
Yeah,
That's why
it
I'm
really
trying to
is.
stay.
Okay. Okay. It's always good to have a little bit,
Mhm.
on the side.
Of course.
In reserve, but that's a good,
Mhm.
good source of revenue for the village.
Yeah. Okay.
Kyle, where's sales tax show up on this?
Sales tax, it's up towards the beginning.
Besides not
Does
the
it have a
Canada.
number?
Yeah, I'll tell you, sales tax is in.
Wish tax?
Sales tax.
Oh, non-property,
Yeah, sales
That's
tax.
up on line 19,
Okay.
right under the. cannabis.
non-property tax distribution.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
So we're fairly bullish on that, basically.
That 154 is 3/4 that we currently have, so we'll finish right around just over 200,000.
Gotcha.
What is the gifts and donations line on line 70? Like, do people just give gifts to?
It's any
to the village?
yeah, any donation we get. Last year they
Okay.
budgeted 15,000. Obviously, we didn't get that. I don't know
Yeah.
why 15,000 was budgeted last year. If we expected to get something or not, I'm not sure,
But didn't happen, huh?
but.
I mean, yeah, the year to date is only 4,000,
Yeah.
so, okay. All right, thank you.
And miscellaneous revenue?
It's just any miscellaneous stuff. Our military banners, when people pay for those, are in there, and any miscellaneous thing will go there.
And you said the parking authority and the water department, they come at the end of the year.
Yes, they usually get moved at the end here.
Do they look like they're gonna have enough money to pay us?
Yeah, oh yeah, they both have enough to pay.
It's even better.
You good to move on to expenses?
Sure. Personal fee appreciations. Is that the next page that?
Yeah, it should be the next page. It'll say appropriation.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Mhm.
Okay.
So one thing you'll notice on a lot of people's payroll lines as we go down is I ended up separating anyone that didn't have an overtime line or if they get a medical buyback. We made exclusive lines for that. So you might see some people's payroll lines be a little funky because there's new lines added on.
We provide a medical buyback.
If someone doesn't take our medical
Yeah.
insurance, we give them a buyback, correct?
Can I ask how much?
Yeah, the amount is single, it's 1450, and for family it's 14,500 and 9,500 for family.
Okay, thank you.
Correct.
I'll talk about, I'll tell you why I'm asking that offline.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'll just go down and talk about things that changed here. So in the court section,
Which line?
the court group here.
Judicial starting
Yeah,
at
judicial
14.
starting 14. We did change to both of our court clerks this year. So you'll see their
That's
payroll
right.
lines have jumped. One jumped up and one jumped down, just their new starting rates there. There's that. Like I mentioned, new lines, like on line 36, you'll see, I made some new lines for some people. So if you see there, for example, that's deputy treasurer 35 and 36, her line's showing down. Because she has an overtime line, so she's still getting the 3% increase, but there's an extra line for her.
And what do you mean by like personal service and contractual?
Which line are you talking about?
Well, I see it
Oh,
sort
you
of
coming
throughout.
along? Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's just the wording of how the lines work. Personal service refers to payroll lines and contractual is just expenses.
Oh, got you, okay.
Like a cell phone.
Any questions on the first page here? The other thing to note on the bottom, more towards the bottom, we budgeted a lot for law this year, 100,000, but we didn't even use 20, so I brought that down. For next year, that's the big minus 80,000 there.
What line is that?
46.
46.
Oh.
Or 45, right? The law contractual.
Yeah, 45 boxes.
And 46 is the village engineer.
No, 47 is the engineer.
Oh, on mine it's 46. Go figure.
This might be a spacing thing if you have an older one.
Right. Alright.
Any questions on the first one? Second page. In the first section here, the big thing you'll see that goes up is the building gas and electric. The O and R bills are going to a different improper line in the past, so I've been putting them to the correct line here. So that's why you'll see that number's gone up. So it's just reclassing
Did something
to
go
the
down?
correct
What
line.
went down?
Yep, you'll see. I'll point it out when we get down to that
Okay.
section. But one goes down significantly because of that. Up there. In the middle section, the special items our insurance is going up this year, so that's that $25,000 increase there.
Okay, what number was that?
65 there, unallocated insurance.
Got it. Thank you.
What's other government support?
Other government support that and contains our security, so that's why that number has gone up. Our security team.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Which one?
Number 69 there, other government support. It's got 60,000 budget.
And that is,
That includes 57,000 of it is for the security guys.
Safety patrol.
Yes.
so basically been moving numbers around different lines.
Well, that's where their line's always been.
Yeah.
But they just started here, correct?
Okay.
Remember, we never had a full year before.
Mhm.
Remember, they really started in the fall last year, so the
Yeah.
actual is gonna be low.
And the tax line above it, we got our one property down by the marina tax exempt, so that's why that amount has gone down there.
Oh, that's
We
great.
need that tax,
Good job, Kyle.
What's that on
Wow.
68?
the 68 line, yes,
That's
that's.
another property I'd love to have you turn in tax exempt. It's over on Hard Place.
Uh,
I don't think we could do that.
He's working magic. All right, so what,
So
so
that-
we get to
that-
other is all manner of sins are in other.
So this has got this is the building department section here. So, I'll point out anything that's notable here. Oh, so you're gonna see a lot of changes here because most of these employees do get a medical buyout, so
Wow.
it's gonna look like a lot of their payroll items are going down, but you'll see I have two new lines for their overtime and their medical buyout. Those used to be incorporated into their lines. So everyone's getting their normal 3% increase.
And when does that go into effect for everybody?
It starts at the beginning of the fiscal year, June, beginning of June.
We had a student worker this year?
No, so that line ended up being that line we named the student worker line, but that line became, and I'll rename it here, is the part-time person they just hired.
Oh, I see, okay.
So it will get renamed to part-time.
No, I don't see the overtime line. Where's that?
It's. Do you have an old one? You might have an old one.
Oh,
85.
that could be why my,
Yeah.
Your numbers are all.
Here.
That would be so confused.
You'll see it, Andy. It's on 85 and 86. You should see the two new lines. Make sure you go to the
What was
expenses.
he using?
It's an old
He's
budget
using an
before
old
I
line.
made those new lines.
So the total for the buyout's been 38,000?
Between all their employees.
Yeah.
Correct.
In the building plot.
In the building,
Mhm.
that's just the building department, correct.
all right, now it's starting to make sense.
It's all coming clear now.
I can't, I'm having trouble reading my budget. It's a little dark.
Kyle,
What about
for
that?
the elder folks on the team, can we make the font bigger for them?
Yeah.
But don't you start with that. The font is fine. It was
And Joe,
it's a
I am
little
not
darker, it's
referring
this
to
one
you
down.
in any way.
Right above me is over.
Form, I hope you know that.
Okay, I accept my senior status.
He's got his special glasses.
And I have a very powerful reading glasses.
Yeah, which is why I knew you weren't worried about this.
In the future, I'll make it a little
Hearing is
bit.
my problem.
That's a little.
No, it's fine. This is fine. You can read it, just the light was not good. The light was, the one light right above us is that.
You turned like 3 lights on.
I want as much light as possible. We're having a meeting. What are we screening a movie? We can have the light on. All right, so where were we? So constable personal service, you can see that goes down because that money goes right into the other governmental support.
Mhm.
What was the reason for that change, by the way?
We never
That's
hired that
later.
position. We never hired
So
a.
you didn't just, you just, okay,
Correct.
so it more
That line will go-
appropriately, since it's an outside firm, goes into governmental support, okay. That's fine. And other government support goes more than just the security.
It's the security, just some, yeah, it's a small thing, a few small things. It's our business, are they called business expense advisors, Andy?
Yeah,
They help us try to save some money on some things.
yeah, they get paid a
Percentage.
portion of the demonstrated savings.
Correct. So it's not too much, but that they make up the little rest. There.
Oh,
Anything else on this page here?
We ended up down a little bit, and that's partially the $40,000 coming out of the,
The constable on there, correct.
although also down Well, up 16%, okay, up 16%, and that's, for special items, we're up, but that's really just and other we're down, but that's just a shift of the
Mhm.
security force, okay.
Okay, 103, that's the salaries, personal
Yep.
service.
So that's our that's all of DPW's
DPW.
regular time there, correct? So them getting all the 3%
Can't you,
increases.
just as a general, for clarity?
Yep.
Can the columns on your accounting software, most of these on the other, that's building department.
Yeah,
and then
I
the
can
highway DPW.
I can make it more clear
I mean,
here.
this way it's clear, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah,
instead of having
I-
to decipher what,
I will make that clear in the future.
What's not clear?
Instead of saying other, it's saying building department because it's pretty much all building department. Instead of highway, he wants it to say DPW.
I mean, that makes it a little bit easier to follow the,
Which line are we talking about?
yeah, the
Just the
headline.
headings.
The headings,
The heading.
highway meaning DPW.
Correct. Right, that's the next page here. Some other things in the DPW, I added a medical buyback line, like I said, for the other guys, for the one DPW guy that gets it. I
You
did,
start itemizing uniforms?
correct, so this, I decided to, because we never really tracked on an individual basis people's allowance for clothing.
Mhm.
So I made a separate line for each person, so we can track
I like that.
how much they spend. So you'll see their main uniform line has gone down as a result of making the individual lines.
Now, this is, the $800 a person is contractual.
That is the
correct?
union contract.
And if they go below that, do they get that money?
No, it's just how much you can spend.
How much the limit you
Correct.
could spend,
Mhm.
not like a
No.
credit that they get? Okay.
Correct.
So,
Some other things to note in this line, you could see, well, at the top, you could see their overtime, they went a little over with the snow. So I increased that a good bit, as well as, snow removal contractual line one
Oh,
twenty-three.
wow.
Line 123 is our snow removal. I increased that one as well to be a little more cautious, which I'm hoping this year was an outlier, but
let's hope,
Yeah,
let's hope.
the street lighting contractual line is the one that goes down that had the O and R bills that I said were getting put to the wrong spot.
So that goes.
Still
into-
124.
And so where does that go to then?
So.
There was a different line that went up as a result, so this
Okay,
one
you'll-
goes down.
That's a lot.
Oh, we're gonna get to it.
No, we passed that one already, the one that went up.
Oh, that was the O and R line?
Uh-huh, in the building.
I'm curious what this.
Which line was that?
Let me find it.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see.
It was 50.
55?
Yeah, that was a lot, yes, correct. A lot of the O and R bills that were wrong, we're going here, so I reclassed them to that, so that's why. On line 129 and 130, you'll see the two new positions, the bus driver and the social worker there. So those are those two new lines.
What's the community action administration?
Both of those together, those next two lines is the tourism. The top one is the administration fee they charge.
That's the fee we pay to,
For the tourism.
for what's this, to
For Toll
Thomas, yeah.
Mhm. Correct.
Visit line.
Yes.
Mhm.
And bus operations, personal services. That's Ralph Cramden? Is that?
That's the driver of the
That's the
shuttle,
driver.
yes, the driver of the shuttle.
Ralph Cramden, you said?
Ralph Cramden.
Oh, come on, you know,
I totally.
the reference, you got the reference,
Come
right?
on, you know,
Didn't even hear the joke.
Well, I can, if Pascal doesn't get the reference, I'm
the
okay.
bus driver, Ralph Cramden.
You know who Ralph Cramden is?
Ever watched The Honeymooners?
Honeymooners, okay, good,
I
done.
never saw it either.
Yeah.
That would've been very
That's my
sad.
pay grade, unfortunately.
That's where I show my age.
It was a show that you never saw live, you only saw it on.
I don't hold it
It's old
against you,
enough to be-
Joe.
On Channel 11.
Yeah, Channel 11.
Joe ran on the other
None
hand.
of us saw it live. It's a show that ran like the thirties, forties, fifties, something like that.
To the moon.
To the moon, Alice.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, so we're up to the social services, personal services. These are all roles that are new and which we have not previously budgeted, but we've also not spent any money on them. We haven't, I think we had something budgeted that we didn't spend. So that's recreation.
Culture,
Contractual.
recreation.
We didn't spend anything because we never got anything going with it. So they reduced the amount So we'll work up to it if we can find somebody to put together some recreational park or some other space.
Before COVID, that was part of the,
Was it knocked out because of COVID or was it just?
This is a new line,
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to.
recreation,
137?
factual.
Yeah.
We created it when the cannabis tax was created.
Yeah, but I thought we had
We've always had a
recreational-
reg line, but it was always zeroed out.
I mean,
Maybe this was that old line.
Yeah, it was always there, because I remember it always being, it was always zeroed out.
Yeah, I remember there was a actual program.
Yeah, we used to have like a long,
What's her name?
long
It
time.
was
It
Melody Partridge.
Melody Part, definitely.
Yeah, Melody.
was a while ago.
Yeah.
That was in ancient times.
Yeah, before times, as the kids would say.
And we need to, we had plans for it and then just nothing ever materialized.
Yeah,
We had plans to do something with one of the bars that was gonna basically open up as an after-school
mhm,
non-bar, like a shake shack type thing.
yeah.
That didn't happen.
Can it
And
still happen? Can we still make it
I
happen?
don't think with that particular owner, we're likely to do anything now.
Oh,
So we gotta find something else it'd be nice to get some recreational stuff going. And we have budget for $100,000. It's a serious amount of money to get something decent going. We just gotta find the right opportunity. And
What do you
it
need
might
the
be
space
getting
for?
somebody to run it.
Program.
I think it's a program. I mean, we talked about just
we
doing
should have
things
some
like
program, yeah.
having, basketball, having basketball recreation, having kickball at the park, in the baseball field, stuff like that, that could be, just pure show up and play,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, not,
And we
not
did,
league.
we did actually start things, it's just that we had the money from a different grant source.
Yeah, we didn't spend this money, that's
Yeah.
right. We did stuff, we didn't spend this money. So maybe if we keep it up, we'll spend this.
Yeah, the Y has been doing those kinds of show up and play type things.
All right, so maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just have the Y do some programming that's open to all the
We can
kids.
keep doing that.
in Public space.
Keep doing it, yeah.
Okay, but now we'll go on this budget line.
Yeah.
I honestly
I
would
like-
prefer to have it consolidated under NIAC, because we've done it before. And we can always work with to me, one of the biggest issues I always had with the basketball program was that it was never under our NIAC Parks and Rec budget, where it would be
Yeah, right.
easier to just like hire someone for the summer to do it as opposed to running it through a nonprofit. Nothing on the Y, I like the Y a lot, but I think we can, I think.
Well, it
was a
was
little-
run, I mean, it was run by us. I mean, for a long time, it was run by the.
Yeah, no.
Nike Hoops, was that?
Yeah, Nine Hoops, yeah,
That was
yeah,
us,
yeah,
yeah.
I know, and then there was some issues with
Right.
trying to create a 501c3 or running things through a 501c3 when I had said at the time to the previous mayor that it would be simpler to just run it through the Parks and Rec department and hire a
Mhm.
summer person to coordinate it. So that's more why I would prefer to do it in-house.
There's nothing that keeps
That's-
us from doing it this summer. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
reason we can't get basketball going this summer and get somebody to run it.
Yeah.
Just gotta find somebody.
I'm sure.
In my
I'm
view,
sure.
it's a lot easier to just pay the Y to do it.
Yeah,
They
but
already
we
have
just-
the staff, they
I
have
know,
the
but we just,
registration, they have
they
the.
don't do it down at the park, they do it.
Yeah, no.
They do it at the park. That's why we have them do it.
Well, I didn't know that. I thought it was always separate.
Yeah, it always like and just based on.
It always feels like a
feedback,
Y program.
Yeah,
Yes.
it feels separate.
Right.
We give the Y to do it, it feels like a Y program. 90% of the people that get tourism grants say, oh, when they thank people, they thank they thank the Visit Nyack. Thank you, Visit Nyack, for the tourism grants. It's the Village of Nyack's grants, but we administer it through Visit Nyack, so Visit Nyack gets
The
the
credit.
acclaim for it.
Donation.
The same thing with we're spending money, we do it through the Y. The Y runs it as one of their programs. They don't run it as a village program.
Yeah,
And so people say, well, where's all this money going that we
Right.
didn't do? Because they don't see that this stuff is being done. I also think that if we could, I'd rather have control over the program. I know they do the stuff, but we have had issues before with
Mhm.
them running the program, opening it up to people that are not from the village, which is what we're supposed to be doing. It would be, I think Pascal has articulated a preference for having it done in-house. We have a budget for it. If we find somebody to do it, it's not a huge amount of money to hire someone to do it. It's also not a huge amount of money for us to buy, not uniforms, but shirts that can be reversible.
Yeah.
penny
So you can
shirts.
do the little mesh shirts that can be
Mhm.
yellow or green or blue,
Shirts.
depending on the size. So everybody, you guys turn it blue, you guys turn it
Yeah,
turn
yeah.
it green, and you can all play, and you don't need like, you don't have to have a different, anything more expensive than that.
And I will say, just as an incentive, because if we are going to eventually get like workout equipment and stuff like that down at the park, it's probably better to have somebody who can like run a workout program that is from the village down at the park as well. Just
Yeah, I
throwing it
have a
out
good-
there. Yes, I'm eyeballing you, Joe.
I have a good candidate.
Oh,
The guy has run programs for years. He's a Nyack resident.
Run basketball program. You're talking the basketball program.
In
Just
gen-
programs in
Yeah,
general.
in general. Let me, I don't want to mention his name
Okay.
here, but we'll talk,
Okay.
offline.
I think that's a really good idea,
Yeah.
separate.
And as a bus
everyone.
driver while you're at it.
A bus driver, you mean Ralph?
Yeah.
I'm
You
not
seem to have
retired.
an
That's what I'm
angle
gonna be
on bus
doing.
drivers, so. And we need a social worker for the homeless thing too.
Okay.
Well, I thought we were working with Catholic Charities.
How about
Recruit one, that's the whole thing.
Oh,
They don't have
okay.
one.
Okay, but we'll
How
sign
about-
the paperwork.
how about a bus driver
Right.
/ social worker?
Well, and you spoke to Dominican University
Jack of all
in
trades.
their program?
Mhm.
Okay, and no one has applied from their program. Good to know. Gonna keep going?
Uh, in that section, the other big thing that got a jump there is celebrations. I put a little extra in there this year, because I know the 4th of July is the 250 celebration, so I bumped that one up and we already went over this year as well.
And what number is that?
145.
Thank you.
140.
There it is.
We went over this year?
Correct. It was mostly because of our tunnel for towers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Internal.
Tunnel for
Tunnel for
towers,
towers,
the 9
okay.
revenue. All right, moving on to the next section here. Nothing significant was changing. Any other questions on this page?
Yeah, by the way, in terms of the 145,
Oh, yeah.
we ramped up our
Oh, July.
search for contributions and sponsors for the
Oh, the celebration.
USA 250 celebration. So hopefully there'll be money going back to the village from that. I hope. Fingers crossed. There's a lot of competition. A lot
Oh,
of
really?
competition, a lot of events being
There's a lot of stuff happening,
yeah,
all
in terms
over.
of these sponsorships, people that have done donations.
yeah.
And I've actually started a campaign to every merchant, every restaurant, every place in the village, and people are writing out checks.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah,
So very good, excellent.
Good job.
yeah.
Any other questions on this page?
Not for me.
Yeah, I had a question about 155.
155.
Okay, the street cleaning, and that's for the maintenance and service on
The
the
sweeper, correct.
sweeper. It seems like a lot. So the question that I have, is it a question of old age for the sweeper, or is it something maybe consider buying a new sweeper that would be less
I don't think it's, I think they got it in 2020.
It's not that old. It has a lot of pieces that have to be
Moving parts.
maintained, fixed, they break off, brushes and things like that.
okay.
New ones are really expensive. So at some point, if we get, I think a state grant, we could support like a conversion to an electric sweeper. But we researched that, and the sweeper itself was like $500,000, and then the level of a charger that you would need at the DPW to feed the thing was, kind of astronomical as well. So
So this is.
Like
Another half of
this
those
is,
parts.
this is basically, it's a really gadgety vehicle that
Yeah.
tends to require a lot of parts to be replaced and stuff.
All right,
It gets run a lot too.
It does.
I hear the 4 o'clock in the morning.
Line 143, this summer food reimbursement.
Yep, so that line is our, am I seeing the right one? Summer food reimbursement, the
Yeah.
40,000, that's the exact same as the revenue, that's what we get completely reimbursed for.
Oh, okay, and we know we're getting that reimbursement.
To my understanding, yes.
Okay.
So
143?
Correct.
Huh?
It just
Mhm.
passed through. Yes,
140.
yeah, there was a revenue for.
That's reimbursement to, Lab
Summer
Center?
food, no, the food
The summer
The
program.
food
program.
program, we get
Summer
reimbursed for.
Yeah. No, I'm more worried like if the feds cut that, what are we gonna do?
I haven't heard them.
Yeah, that's more my worry. Like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, Leanne's talking to the food service people right now, and I haven't heard back any kind of red flags getting raised on that.
Thank you. All right, we'll go to the next page. So most of this stuff on this page is not really, it's, it came from somewhere, like the state retirement is their
Mhm.
projected bill, or 50% of it general pays for. The social security and Medicare line is based on their payroll lines. The workers' comp line stays the same as last year because their contract is signed for 3 years. That's why that one's the same. And then our medical insurance, you can see obviously a big increase there as medical insurance goes up.
Yeah, and that dental is really,
Um, and then the next section going down is is our outstanding debt. That's our bonds.
okay.
That's a huge increase from 171.
170. Yes, the lines 170, 171 did have an increase, because we did have a new bond that we did this year, as well as we had one part, in a band, and that became a bond as well.
Are we retiring bonds at some point?
Uh, we have a lot of we have 2 or 3 bonds that are ending in about 2 or 3 years from now.
Okay, you did
Mhm.
analysis of that. Can you,
Yes,
is it possible to get
Yeah,
that to be
I can give you an update.
updated? Yeah.
I can do that and email it to you.
Is there a statutory limit on the amount of bonds that the village can,
No, as long as we could afford it.
Yeah, no, there's a debt cap, but we're nowhere near it.
how much is it?
I don't know. It's far beyond the amount of debt you'd ever want to take on.
Yeah,
Sure.
which is great that we always watch that, because
Lines 174, 175.
Yep, were the bands that we no longer have. They
Oh.
became bonds, so they moved into the 70 and 71 essentially.
Oh, got you, okay.
okay.
So right now this is completely balanced and it works here. There's a few requests that we did have from people that did not get included in here. So I don't know if you guys want to talk about them or not.
Let's talk about them.
One of them was an Andy request for some pest control.
Oh,
Oh, right.
Is this to solve our rat problem? Yes.
I do.
well, the garden's about to open.
Yeah, there are other pests that we're dealing with. These are all human pests. It's special spray that we're using for people that,
It shrinks people too
Oh,
fast.
too many meetings. But yes, no, it's the rats. And the rat thing has come up again recently.
Yes, I saw a post.
No,
about-
it's
Oh.
the garden club.
Yeah,
Garden
yeah, I
club
saw
is-
that
There's some,
post.
there's
There's a little
some
bit of,
drama going on.
Yeah, I
in the
saw
garden
that.
Club, and it has
Yes,
to do
there
with
is.
rats from last year.
Yeah,
Is that,
Well, because,
yes, that post that person had put up saying.
well, it's, well,
Also
I'm in
got
the garden.
There's emails I got separately from that post.
Yeah, I'm in the garden, and part of the problem was the number one, the garden's becoming a little too political. I've been in there for over 20 years. And secondly, because and there's a lot of people complaining about the rodent problem, and News 12,
Yeah,
they went
they
for the
can-
blonde,
yeah.
right? They went for someone that's easy on the eyes. They looked around, they were like, you, and she was like, yeah, there's a problem, and it was there. It highlighted Nyack Plaza because News
Because of the
12 went
fire.
down there, so the tenants were really thrilled about that. So, but then the garden, wanted to kick her out. They're like,
Oh.
you're not allowed in
That's
here
nice.
anymore. You went to News 12 and she
That's
didn't. Yeah, so anyway, a lot of people got involved, including somebody that had a lawyer
Oh.
husband, and wrote a letter, and I thought I saw her in there digging.
Oh, gosh.
So I guess that
Golly.
got rectified.
Well, at least on our end of things.
That's right.
We have the,
So I'm simply
Yeah.
proposing that we basically quadruple the amount of rat bait stations we have in the downtown with a vendor who's highly professional and data driven. sort of a head and shoulders above our existing kind of coterie of pest control folks. And it's probably the maximum that effort the village can do. We have a limited amount of public property that we can put control devices out. This is largely a private property problem. That's why the building department has been slowly but surely requiring landlords to demonstrate adequate containerization of trash, having Carter contracts where they're supposed to, and having pest control where it's needed. And that process is the baseline that we need to keep pushing on in terms of rodent control. But we can do more in terms of our application of bait stations. And so on your agenda for Thursday, you'll see the presentation by a new company that has some different kinds of tools and a much more aggressive approach, which will cost an extra like 10 or I think it was 10 or 14,000.
Yeah, I think it's around 14,000 more compared
Given
to.
the-
more.
So
Debate on
compared
this,
to-
I think it's
so
probably.
How much more?
About 14,000. Right now, our current one's about 6,000 a year. This one will be closer to 20.
right,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
But it's
So-
the whole, it's village wide, so.
It
Yeah.
targets the downtown Bridge, Main, Broadway, South Franklin, and Depew, basically that sort of box. And
Fair, I guess.
and it's a good set of tools. We don't know, we don't actually have data on rodent populations, so there's anecdotal evidence, there's obviously sightings. And there's times when they're more visible than others and places where they're more visible than others. And
So people have still been seeing them.
I haven't seen any for a while,
Me either.
but the way
I
the
mean,
cold
it's
spell,
winter,
the
yeah.
cold spell was a. There's different hypotheses. Some people think that the cold spell reduced the rat population. So there's different theories and models, and we don't really know essentially, but
So he'll do a whole.
but
presentation.
with this system, they'll track the activity levels. Some of the base stations will have electronic kind of rodent traffic counters essentially. So they'll be able to, and they will be, by doing weekly visits, they'll move them and sort of get them where they're most actively used. They'll look at the bait station, see how much bait is being eaten. If it's not getting much activity, put it somewhere else. Look for burrows and
Right,
deal
all
with
of
it.
that. I'm really glad they didn't cross the street.
so
Yeah.
so it's a whole it's
No, and.
it's
we
about
have
as much as we can do
Yeah.
as a village, other than the property maintenance stuff, which has been a priority for the building department for a while.
So as long as we're both working in tandem, then that should really help.
So,
Can we increase fines for landlords who don't do the right thing? I mean, could that, maybe it's self.
You mean with your trash containers?
You try everything, all the above, and use some of those proceeds to pay for this enhanced rat control company.
You should look at the fines.
Was that
We should look at the fines.
Yeah.
You have to ask Manny about that, but we should look at that, yeah.
more aggressive approach?
Then we could up that fines line on the revenues. The fines line would go up even more.
so what line does our usual pest control fall under?
It gets separated depending on where it is. So some
Oh.
goes in the senior center, some goes to the building, some
Gotcha.
goes to the park,
Oh,
wherever it is. So it's spread out throughout the budget, but in
Okay.
total, it takes up about 6,000
Okay,
currently. With their
And
current
so with the increase for this, it would end up costing closer to
20,
20.
correct.
Okay.
I think
I'm okay with that, given the issue it's been causing, because before,
yeah,
before it was the garden, I think it was the folks on Front Street, which is why we
Yes.
started doing the garbage.
Bridge Street.
Bridge,
What's a
yeah, Bridge
bridge?
Street, not
Bridge,
Front Street,
yeah.
Bridge Street, I always get them confused. Which is why we started doing all the, making sure people had containers and everything, so it has been a long time coming to some degree.
Right, and I've noticed them, by Strawberry Place, all, they're all.
Yes. But I will say, we're not the only village who deals with this, so
Yeah.
it must be a post-pandemic, thing. I guess the city rats also moved out.
Yes, they did.
I guess they moved out as well. That's the only thing I can think of, so, yeah.
The issue is we simply, unlike a lot of these things where we have numbers, we simply do not have that.
Yeah.
for rats. So
Yeah.
it's all hearsay and we respond because it feels compelling as sort of
Mhm.
an anecdotal level.
And we gotta quantify this, see where the populations are and
Yeah.
that they're increasing, decreasing. Yeah, so this, if they could track,
Yeah,
We'll
it's
have,
really
we'll have a
great.
lot more
Look,
information.
even at my own house on Third, we've had like more rats than normal, I would say, like we'd have or one or two every couple of years, but I feel like it's like every year now.
and
So-
any on Second Avenue, so,
Listen,
Stay over there.
we want
They
them to
have
go
on
closer
Midland.
to the water. How about that?
The river rats.
The river rats.
by the way, the shoreline restoration project, would that cause some of the rat population to be pushed inland with all the construction going on there? Because usually there are rats down there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, in my mind,
No,
I
that's
see
interesting.
the rats on the waterfront is basically like a different category.
Yeah,
Like we do put poison traps down there. But there's basically an unlimited number of rats running around the waterfront in those boulders. Whereas on Main Street and Broadway, I feel like should be a real focus.
yeah.
And
I'm not saying that we should do treatments over there at the shore. I'm just saying if that has a possibility of
construction.
pushing the construction, pushing them up.
I mean, I guess only time would tell on that one to some degree.
Yeah.
Once it's
Yeah.
done, we'd have to see if that changed the
yeah, we won't.
population, yeah.
But definitely having a building demolished absolutely
Oh, yeah.
results in an exodus of rats. Yeah. If it's been vacant for a while and they've set up.
Yeah.
That's a real issue.
Any other requests?
Yeah, the
Well,
only,
do we need to change the budget to get that contract in there?
we will have to increase it to include, so we will have to find some room for it, correct?
All right, does the board want to find room for that?
For how much more?
The rat thing,
It's probably gonna be about 14,000. 14 more.
14,000 additional for
Right.
rats, basically.
I mean, great. Part of it will get paid by water if any of the traps are at water, so
Well, you gotta
do a
be
breakdown.
careful of that because we have an existing
Mhm.
set of rat control, which runs about 5,000 a year. Which is. That's in addition to this outdoor
Okay,
kind of
Mhm.
strategy. So they get added together, all right? It's a
All right,
new
so we need
contract on top of the
$14,000
existing. I mean, they'll
Yeah.
take over the existing, but that costs money
Right.
too.
Give us a couple suggestions for the next meeting Thursday of how do we get, say, $20,000,
Mhm.
either increase revenues or.
Yeah, we could be a little less conservative on the
We
revenues.
could be a little
or
less concerned, or we could cut something.
Cut something out of the expenses. Mhm.
Most likely we'll end up doing something with the revenues, because we're conservative, so that's the whole point of being conservative, so that you can loosen it up a little bit if you need some revenue.
Yeah.
Just to make the balance, and then if you find out in January that you're running too lean, then we can dial back
Mhm.
Okay.
if the rats come back. No, I'm not, just kidding.
I hope not. Oh my God.
The other two requests we didn't include came from Manny. He said he was gonna come talk today, but I guess he wasn't able to make it. But I feel like I should present them because he didn't include here.
They're not in the budget right now.
Correct, they didn't.
They're additional requests.
Correct, outside of the budget. He wanted a new vehicle for 40,000 for his department. As well as he was hoping to get an increase above the normal 3%
Okay, we can
himself.
talk to us on
for
Thursday.
himself, correct?
He can come talk to us Thursday if he wants. How much how much total? That'd be 40,000 for the vehicle, and then how much?
Yes, he just thought.
That's another one in the like past 4
Yeah, I was
years.
gonna say, like, when's the last time we did that?
I feel like it was maybe not last.
A
budget,
vehicle?
budget.
No.
No.
An
the others.
increase.
The increase.
Above what we can see on his line. What his income was for the last 4 years.
Your line in number 77.
Which one?
77.
77?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, 77.
Oh, no, yeah.
And that would all be on that one line?
That would be all of his expenses, correct? So the
It
one,
hasn't gone up in any
no,
significant way.
no, looks like it could be normal, 3%. The 117 is with just giving him the 3%. His ask was 125.
It looks like what you might be referring to is the 0405 budget, he went up by $8,000, which would be more like 7%, not 3%.
Right.
That might be
If
what.
it was higher,
That might be what's in
Yeah.
our mind, because the next year he went up by 3,000, which
Mhm.
is about 3%.
3%.
Yeah, no, it was definitely, between these, 23 and 25, those 2 years that I was thinking of.
So does he want an additional 3% then
So
over what he would get in
he's
June?
asking, so this year he has the 114, I put the 3% of 117, he's asking for 125.
120,
Correct, 125.
125.
So it would be like
An extra-
12%.
Yeah.
12% in total.
Mhm.
This one's kind of this. All right, anything else that's requested that is still live that you wanted to?
No, every other request was included in here.
Was included or adapted.
Okay.
All right, should we look at anything else from the main budget? All right, parking?
We'll go on to parking.
That's good priority. It's done better.
The big change in parking. If you remember, we had one of our meetings last year. That there was something that struck me weird about the medical insurance. I don't know if you remember, and I was like, and you were new, you just started. So I was like, why is this medical insurance? What was it that I was picked
Yeah,
up on?
they weren't paying back, their retired people that are on night shift. And then they did pay it back. I did a calculation and they owed us like $40,000 for the last 5 years for.
Yeah, with the village. They being
General
parking
fund,
authority,
correct.
us being.
Yes.
Village, okay.
I apologize, yes.
That's okay, you know, we're all us, so it's just one, it's one pocket, the other pocket, so the medical insurance, if you look at the medical insurance line,
Yep,
which is line 45,
you'll see some numbers in the past look a little wonky because,
Yeah,
and then this number looks much higher. The proposed
year-
is way above where it's.
Yeah.
this year is low because at the end of the year, that's when everyone pays back, their night shift amount, so their number will go up.
The actual,
The actual this year, correct, will go up.
it will or it won't?
It will,
Oh.
that, yes, correct, yeah, so how it works with most of them that are, union, they're on Aetna, so it gets paid throughout the year, but, just the retired people are on night shift,
Yeah,
so,
how many retired,
from parking,
yeah,
off the top of my head, I wanna say it's around 5 or 6. So, he just gets paid out of general fund, because it's not easy to break down on night shift, that's how it's always been done, it gets paid out of general, and at the end of the year, they pay back their piece.
Okay.
Same with the water.
so the top line issues with regard to parking, is if you look at line 37.
Mhm.
Our adopted revenue in 25-26 was 1.37. And this year it's 1.37.
which line,
17.
which line? is
Line
it?
17.
Line 17.
Line 17. What did I say?
Okay, I thought you said,
37.
you said 37, yeah.
Damn lights.
Okay.
Revenues are flat.
Line 17, it goes from 1.76 to 1.373. So basically, we're projecting flat
Just stay flat.
revenues next year off this year. Now,
Okay.
then scroll down to row 47.
Mhm.
And you'll see the total expenditures
is an increase.
is 1.376, which matched last year's revenue. But this year's expenditures are the same as the proposed was the same, but this year we're proposing a 1.468, which is about another $94,000 in expenses than we had last year, or at least it's about 94 from more than we have, 91 more than we had last year. Which leaves us with a deficit of $94,000, which we're projecting 3% or about $3,000 less in revenues and about $91,000, $92,000 more in expenses, ends up being a $94,000, $95,000 deficit. On that. Now, tell us where's the deficit come from?
So right now we're projecting, and this is why this budget is still a work in progress. I'll just touch on the actual for this year.
Okay.
It's showing it's 262, but you gotta remember they haven't paid the 300,000 to the general fund yet. Based on their numbers, it annualized that they're gonna, just break even barely this year. So as you can expect with revenue staying the same and expenses going up, that's why we have the negative next year.
Okay.
Now, the negative would be after it pays the general fund $300,000.
Correct.
So technically it's making, well, it shouldn't, because the point is they have to pay to lease the streets from the village. But if they pay to lease the streets from the village, they're gonna end up $94,000 in the hole. That does not include the fact that they're also paying us back for past debt.
Yeah.
That's not on this.
Correct, doesn't include the debt
Correct.
payments.
That gets paid back based on
If
surpluses
they
after
can-
their budget.
If they
So,
can,
so they're not paying back anything.
this year, no, if they, assuming they break even, which they're on pace to, then it will correct.
They're not gonna be.
Correct.
And
So you can see it's slowly gone down. The year before, they just made 80,000, 200,000, then 80,000. This year, I think they'll just about break even. And then we're had this loss just because expenses are constantly going up and the revenue's been plateauing around the same.
Now, revenue should be going up insofar as we've got more full-time people working.
We did.
More full-time people working should mean more ticket revenue,
but
but we haven't gotten the more ticket revenue, as far as I can tell.
Correct.
So the revenues, the actuals are,
And-
will end up being about the right number.
and the snow didn't the snow affect that in any way?
Well, it would affect our actuals a little bit, but, 2 weeks of revenue gone because we're not. But we did, there were fines those weeks, but
Mhm.
not a lot of, we waived parking for some of the lots. But if you look, like, no individual lot has, the parking lots other, where is that?
It's
Where's
just-
the marina? Where's the marina in this? Is that Spear?
Spear went down.
The Spear lot I reduced because you guys reduced the fee for the.
These are the monthly permit numbers at the
Yeah,
top.
from 40. Yeah, that's only those are only
Those are-
monthly permits.
Oh, those are permits.
Correct, those are.
Yeah, the lots aren't broken out by revenue from
Correct.
the,
Yeah,
coin.
your lots would be mixed in between if it's coins, a credit card is Flowbird, Park Mobile's the app.
Park app.
So it's broken into those three.
The parking ticket revenue,
Yep,
top line.
yep. That's just what they pay for their tickets. It's not what we issue, it's what they pay. After any judge
So it's
reduction
these
in,
are the fines,
yep, those are the fines.
parking tickets.
So they've gone down. So it might be that our justice is getting kinder in his
Oh, yeah.
advanced years.
For season years?
As he gets, he gets more soft, he softens up as he, hears more and more South Stars. Because that is a significant difference that
Almost $50,000.
if we're at 524 actual
Yeah,
on a goal of
I
750.
think
I just
that
feel
one
like
will
it's one
finish
stated
around
for that,
705.
Tickets.
All right, so it'll be down 8% from what our adopted goal.
we need to dive deeper into this. Like, we need to actually look and see
Yeah.
about the ticket writing sort of productivity question. And I think our guys are very active.
Certainly the population would say
It
that.
could be that people are getting better at avoiding getting tickets,
And it has
People
nothing
learn.
to do with removing certain parking spaces from,
Well, they've definitely, the fresh market,
yeah.
free spaces definitely took the wind out of the sails for the fresh market a lot. Definitely, that,
Yep.
because people tend to use those free spaces.
Yeah. Yeah,
So that was a cost for sure.
okay.
But I think we kept that
Yeah, we knew
market
that was
alive,
happening,
so
yeah.
I think that was, personally, I think that was a good move.
At some point,
forward.
we're gonna have to consider increasing the rate,
Yeah.
the parking rate.
So
I don't know if we want to do it necessarily this year.
It's like a 65 cents for an hour. something like that.
So it's
So
more than that.
It's $1, isn't it?
Well, that includes.
it's $1 an hour right now and 75 in municipal lots. But I have a list of about 12 actions I want to bring to the board
Mhm.
to consider as far as parking revenues and expenses. It's kind of a draft memo. I can summarize it now if you'd
We
like.
want to do it as part of the budget. We want to do it, I mean, we can pass the budget.
We don't have to adopt a parking authority budget as part of the
Do we need to do it as a housing authority?
housing
I
authority.
mean,
Parking.
parking authority. Oh,
It'd be nice to have a parking authority meeting, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to-
But we're just looking at the budget for purposes of looking. We don't have to judge, we don't have to do anything today with the
Right.
budget.
Right.
Okay. All right, so why don't you
Well,
just,
I meant
let's
in
go
terms
over
of
now,
your
but you can send us the
proposal,
memo.
yeah, did you? Yeah. Like, never mind.
It's fairly complex.
Oh.
But there's ways of decreasing costs and increasing revenues that we can look at, certainly. And I spent a good deal of time on that today, so
Oh, you did it all today?
no, I didn't finish it,
Oh.
but
Sorry, okay. never
yeah, no, Rosa and Matt and Kyle and I sat down and went over a bunch of options and
No, that
we
was,
got
So
some
is
things
the-
in
Do you want
process.
to finish it before we go over it, or do you want to go over it now? It sounds like you want to go over it now.
It's up to you guys. I mean, I'm happy to go through it, but you haven't had a chance to read it,
Why don't
so.
we look at it first and we can talk about it?
Okay.
Either this meeting or the next meeting.
Mhm.
Because we get to review it, so you don't have to like introduce it to us. We can ask
Yeah.
questions about what we see. That's probably better, so we can sit with it for a little bit. And you can also make sure that it's all exactly the way you want it to present it. But if you get it to us before Thursday, we can bring it up as a new business item.
All right, it's gonna be there's gonna be some details missing for Thursday, but I'm happy to give you my draft tomorrow sometime.
Okay. We can at least talk about it.
Yeah,
Introduce the idea. And the idea is that we're trying to decrease costs and increase revenue. Doesn't necessarily
Right.
mean people are gonna get more tickets or pay more. I'm just saying that at some point, recognizing inflation and everything
Right.
else and all
Well,
the
absolutely.
costs.
the
Yeah, we
cost
have
of
to
parking in this
recognize-
village is below the
Yeah.
market rate
Right.
by a long shot. It hasn't been touched probably in 15 years or more.
We haven't raised the rates in a long time. We raised the fines a couple years ago.
We
haven't
did
raised-
one fine,
Yeah.
We did the first fine.
People
Yeah.
understand.
But
yeah,
they're-
but we got fines for about 100 other things we can look at. You know, missed inspection, missed registration, parked too far from the curb. There's a million fines that we can look at.
Let's do that.
Oh, what's the go-to one for the judge? He has one that says go-to that he drops everybody down to when they have a,
Parking in front of
They should have
a
a
fire.
it's a fire hydrant. It's a fire hydrant. He goes to that one too, because I don't know what the fine is, but that's his go-to when he wants to get people off the, when people plead down.
If
from
they have a
a-
huge fine.
No, if they plead down from a motor vehicle, from speeding.
Oh,
Or stop, or try, they say, "Ah, I'm gonna plead guilty, and you'll pay a fine, but doesn't get points on the license,ch is why people take it.
in any case, let me polish this a little bit and I'll send it to you tomorrow.
We should up
That
the.
happened to me on Causeway over on, I was going like 35 miles an hour. I was going,
20% to that line.
You're gonna have
Very slow. It's like, wait a second, that went up in that fine. It used to be $95, it's $120.
And so he pulls me over and I have a badge from the one of my former in-laws, right? And I also have the stickers from the sheriff.
Yeah.
And so he pulls me over and he says, okay, so hold on a second. He says, look, I pulled you over. Excessive speed. I mean, you're gonna get a lot of points on it and hundreds of dollars, but you seem like a nice guy.
Oh, wow.
So you know what I'm gonna do? I'll give you a ticket for parking on the causeway.
Look at that.
And that's
Listen,
it. I got off.
Small
Oh,
miracles.
75 bucks. And that was it.
I will say I have received the kindness of Judge Noble a few times or two. When I have done something I wasn't supposed to in the village, so
Since we're on
he's
camera,
not too kind. He's a fair judge.
He's a fair judge.
He's a fair-
since we're on camera, I'm just gonna say that I've never violated the law once.
Listen, I pay my parking tickets. I know I earned them.
I never speed, I've never rolled through a stop sign. I was driving with a 5-month-old inspection that was not aware that my inspection was up.
Oh,
I
listen.
got pulled over on the throughway,
Oh,
wow.
because they could see that it was out of, basically it was blue.
Yeah.
It was like really out of date.
Yeah.
So he put me on, he didn't give me a ticket because I was. I was actually not speeding, so he was like, so he gave me a break on it, but I was like, oh my God. The problem is when you drive an electric car, you don't, the
Nothing ever-
inspection,
never
nothing.
needs to change.
and the
Nothing ever breaks
inspections
down.
They don't mean anything. They're emissions inspections.
Yeah.
So they're emissions, so you don't even think to do them. All right, anyway, let's get back. All right, so let's get that memo from Andy about what we can do with the parking authority, and that
Okay.
might help us by the time, when do we pass the parking authority budget?
You can pass it whenever, it's not, there's last year that we passed it after the.
All right, so let's have a parking authority meeting sometime in May.
You wanna do it on okay,
On what?
first meeting in May?
Well, I don't know. Let's find one where we don't have
This
three
is
public
back
hearings.
out.
Yeah, well, yeah, like
Let's find an off week where we don't have, because we're gonna have public hearings coming up on,
Oh, yeah. we're gonna have a lot.
zoning, on cannabis, on bunch of things. So let's stay away from the public hearing, but whatever it is, we can then do either a workshop or just a presentation within the meeting
Yeah, maybe.
about the parking
Maybe
authority.
May 7th.
Oh, we have to do the budget at a special meeting. So it'd have to be a special meeting that would start at 6:30 or 6 or something.
our meeting started at 7, right? Not
Our meeting starts at 7.
7, that was my typo, yeah.
The one thing I will say in here, most of the expenses are not really can't change. The one thing we did include that could change is we included $40,000 for a new vehicle in here.
For the new vehicle that was just asked for?
No.
No,
It's like, no,
Parking authority.
we said okay with that one.
This is
yeah.
a parking
That's it.
vehicle.
So everybody gets a vehicle, you're saying?
Yeah,
now everybody's over.
That's why.
Wait, didn't they get a vehicle last year?
They did, this is for the other vehicle.
Yeah,
Huh?
we don't need to get that this year.
Yeah, isn't that a capital expense or is capital expenses, they go onto the
They can be included in here,
on
correct?
the budget, yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
So that's the one thing we could say to.
I don't say, oh, vehicles not on,
It is in here, it's gonna in line.
Yeah, it's
in the
it's
line,
equipment.
34, you'll see there's a jump there,
55,
Equipment.
correct.
not under vehicle expense. Why don't you put it under vehicle expense?
That's supposed to only be for repair, the vehicle purchase itself is supposed to be under the equipment line, that's the proper code for it to go to.
Okay, so it should have been different last year.
Correct.
Okay.
Kyle has been doing an absolutely
Why don't we
heroic
should it
job.
adjust it for last year, or is it just, that's not done? Like, so just so it's.
The actual one I can adjust this one, because it is the current.
I know.
Yeah, I can
I
adjust that.
actually understand.
We'll still.
I do
Let's just
understand.
make it so the next year it looks weird.
Like,
I can.
Or if we.
I like that. I was like dreading, but.
What do they need another vehicle for? Just.
They
Not
have two
challenging.
vehicles, one of them is new, one of them is old.
Yeah.
The old one I haven't yet seen the pile of repair bills, I'm waiting to see it before I make my own mind up to see whether it's really on its last legs or not. So I'm just gonna look at it. It's handy, it's a little mini sort of transit van, it's good for hauling around cones and signs and
Okay,
community meters that need to
the
be.
one that they beget.
That's the one
That they
that's
get
old,
replaced.
that they're looking to replace, but. So
So,
we can look at it, it's not an emergency.
not on this, if I have a different question, we're still on cars.
But we could cut that if we need to make budget based.
Correct.
If we need, yeah, if we just, but also we could just simply say, we're gonna pass the budget as it is with can we pass it with a deficit or we can't?
No, you want it to balance.
We want it to balance, so we'd have to reduce the amount.
And bear in mind, it's.
For the,
it's
village league.
it's balancing without a debt payment right now.
Yes, this is not paying.
Because
any-
for reasons I don't understand, we don't actually put the debt payment in the budget.
Correct, just because we never had a set amount we knew we were gonna make, so.
Yeah.
The debt payment just gets paid over overage if they make a profit
Right.
beyond what's.
But it should, like last
If-
couple of years, 150 grand or so went to debt.
paying down.
Yes, if they're capable of it, yes, correct.
So what's been the trend line? It's been about 150 a year?
Yes, last year was lower, I believe it was more
Right.
towards 70,
Is it on the,
so you're not gonna see here exactly. And those profit and loss numbers are a good indication, there's some numbers that I can't change that are passed, like last year I went back to the medical insurance line, because they missed some lines there. If you also look at line 35 library lease, there was a few years our library lease wasn't paid, so
Right.
they have been paid now, but I can't update those lines that say zero, so it doesn't reflect on the true profit and loss there.
So does we pay the library at least, or they pay us?
We pay a percent of the revenue we get from that lot.
Didn't we just change that?
we changed that.
I
so-
thought we.
We revised the deal to make it simpler.
A
but
flat,
the
Right.
a flat rate
cost
per
is
year.
The same,
Okay.
and they own that land,
Mhm.
and so they allow public parking there in exchange for a
Okay.
revenue share.
Right.
Of the ticket revenue.
Mhm.
Also, there was some Facebook Discord that I didn't understand.
Somebody.
Oh,
So.
yeah.
They saw a sign, and they're like,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
this is public property or private
Yeah,
property or
I'm
something.
very
Right?
confused about that. And I'm like,
That was-
okay, this is a
Man,
good
how
opportunity
this-
to like
This is a
bring it
guy
up.
from, lives in Piermont. Constantly on our case.
Is that really? Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that.
I mean, it's like.
The library sign is a little.
Or sorry, Grandview.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it was a little, I was confused too, because I was like, wait, don't we own the lot? But
No.
now
We
it's
don't,
very.
just we license the lot.
Just
I mean,
manage the,
We get a
yeah.
lease on the lot, so the same way that the parking authority gets a lease of all the village streets, they get a lease from the library for the library lot.
The library requested that for what, to continue to have turnover in the lot?
No, they wanna make money.
If it's not enforced, people will park there all day, and customers won't.
Right.
Yeah, no, okay.
And they're not coming out. I was there for a while. They're not coming out saying, "Yeah, don't park here."
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Alright.
That's mostly why I was asking.
Anything, so I think so we need to make the budget balance when we get to it.
Mhm.
And when it comes down to it, we'll see what Andy's suggestions, if they get it to reduce some of the or increase some of the revenues, reduce some of the expenses to get it to balance by the time we approve it, which we should probably try to do by the end of May.
I would like this board at some point in the next year to bite the bullet on the basic hourly fee. I
For,
realize it's kind of a hard thing.
The meter rates.
Go from $1 an hour to $1.25, $1.50 or something like that. Because that's the meat and potato.
Well, what I would do is I would actually I would reconsider the whole, not just increase the rate, but say, okay, let's look at the whole range of how the parking works, because you could also, You could get it without raising the rate just by increasing the hours that you cover.
That too, if we add hours on Sunday, slam
On
dunk.
Sunday, yeah, but then we'll get all Francis
You
Pratt.
wanna, yeah.
Actually, Francis won't care. We already, on her services, we already have
Saturday,
parking.
Saturdays.
But the other
Yeah.
parishes, the other churches will come and talk to us. Louise Parker that's what, Louise Parker will be in my office in 1 second.
I
But-
can guarantee we would hear from the entire village about
Well,
that.
people don't wanna put pants, it's sad, it's weird because
Very
that just means that
busy
there's nowhere to park
commercial
on Sunday.
business day, and there's
But
no,
also we could extend parking to the evening.
That would be the most packed meeting, I think.
we started earlier, it starts at 10, we started.
Well, I mean, starting at 10 is probably about right, but I'm just saying, I don't know.
8.
Starting, finish, all right, we don't need to get into it now.
Yeah, let's set
Right,
up the
let's not
parking
get into it.
authority and discuss these,
But,
yeah.
but I'm just saying that if the choice were between raising the rate and extending the parking hours for another hour or two, it might be better to extend it for an hour or two rather than raising the rate.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know, that's how we have to talk about that.
That's what we.
Yeah.
I'll put that on my list.
Okay.
I actually have extended
That was
hours.
the one thing I am truly afraid of.
I don't parking.
Is changing, raising the parking fee in the village. I'm a
Two
little
blocks.
scared to
Two
do it.
blocks, don't pay the minute.
Or just have my kids go do what I need them to go do. I'm not paying.
Yeah, listen, the beauty of Third Avenue, man, just gotta walk a few blocks in, walk a few
I know, it's
blocks
like,
out.
yeah, aren't people, well, we made that whole map to show them how
Where's-
close the free parking is.
Okay.
It is closer than the 30th row of the mall. Like, that's how close
Really?
it is. It's the same
Is it?
distance from Cheesecake Factory in the 30th row of the mall. And people are like, you can't walk all the way
On
to the
street
first.
So I literally tell my parents, put a car out on the street for me, because I need a place to park when I wanna go in. I'm not parking down on all the way by Sixth Avenue, I live on Sixth Avenue, that's ridiculous.
I just try.
People don't wanna walk.
Those are,
People don't wanna-
that like.
All right, should we look at water?
Let's look at water.
Oh, that's to the water.
Where?
Still have water?
Yeah.
You should have one there. If you need it, I got an extra
it.
copy.
On the back, no, it's on the back.
No, it's not, it's
I got
an
it.
individual sheet.
Right here.
It should say water department on the top. It should say 390.
All right, I have not looked at this.
Yeah,
yet, so
okay,
this is new.
okay.
This is new to me.
Water department, there we go.
So this will be a little more high level.
All
The
right,
expense lines, I don't do all their bills, so I can't tell you each and every
Mhm.
expense line,
Okay.
what goes into it.
okay, Kyle, I got a question.
But
I got a question for you, Kyle.
go ahead, ask me.
How on earth
God.
are they gonna add $600,000 in water meter?
So they are, so let me talk about that
Oh, because
first.
they're raising their rates.
What's the number?
The first line here, their water meter sales, they did a very aggressive increase to their water rates here in January.
Right,
Almost 20%,
Wow.
21.8% to inside people. So to increase
Inside people?
to inside, well,
What's-
inside the village.
Oh,
Water rates, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I should make that clear. Inside the water. They have different rates for inside and outside rates.
And what about the outside rates?
That also has an increase. They used to be different. It used to be cheaper for the inside the village.
Right.
They ended up making it equal. So
Oh.
they brought them level. So they did a 21.5 to inside and
catch them up, basically.
almost about a 2% to the outside. So now they're equal. So they did a pretty hefty increase there. The other revenue that they really increased, if you see line 13, is their penalties.
Oh, Lord.
What I ended up suggesting to them was that they start compounding their penalties, which they did, which
their actual came up really high.
correct, which
Yeah.
brought their actual up high.
Somewhere,
By compounding, you mean like,
So if it adds like say your first penalty is 3%, and then the next one is levels another 3%. Before it was just doing 3% on your base amount, but now it's doing 3% on whatever is your
whatever, okay.
correct.
So it's 3% on top of the 3%.
so
supposed to feel
why
like that.
is the proposed so much lower than the year to date on this?
So the year
Because
to
they
date
went through all the
doesn't
old debts, right? That's what I would think.
Oh, okay, you're right, they had to collect from like Nyack College and the hospital and stuff.
So that's their big increase there on revenue here. The biggest thing on expense, which I will point out, is line 53. They did a lot of, you're gonna see with budget 200,000.
150, oh.
50, line 53.
153.
It was budgeted 200,000, it's over 600, and it's even higher now. They did a lot of contractual work this year.
Right, they did.
And we kept it, this is the biggest discussion I had when I presented to them, how much they want to do next year. We kept it at 200, but for now, we're deciding on what that number should be for next year.
What is that
There.
for?
It's any contractual work they do, for any repairs or any water related
Probably
thing.
water
that's-
main breaks.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what it'd
Correct,
be.
any water main breaks that aren't done by in-house people.
And does this include the big project that was going on last year where they were changing a bunch of different things, or is that?
It
under-
might have been, I don't know what project specifically, so it might have been bonding related or not. These are you,
Or grant related?
Wait, so the capital projects that are financed are,
so, yeah,
Not
you
in here.
you can see they have all their debt will be in the bonds line, which would be line
Gotcha.
65 there.
so that would be the water main replacement
Not
project,
65, I'm sorry.
which was financed.
66.
The next one.
Okay,
63 and 64 is their bonds. So you'll see there's been a big jump in those numbers there because all their bands became bonds and they took out a lot of bonds this year.
okay.
Between their principal and interest, they're almost paying $1 million over $1 million in debt there. But the one thing I will say here with their increases, with the current state of this budget, assuming the contractual work's only 200,000.
What line?
If you go to line 24 contingency, this is what they currently have left over, is 676,000. To either put in lines with,
Oh,
which will either go with this contractual, if they plan to have more contractual than the 200,000. Or could be a positive for them. As you can see on the bottom, they've been negative every single year.
So they don't they don't use that contingency, that money drops to the bottom line.
Correct, it will end up being a profit. Okay. Correct, which will allow them to start paying back.
Why are they taking such a high contingency?
That's just what's ever left over to make the budget balance. That's how much I had left when the expenses were done. and
Their
they're gonna-
profit, their basis.
Right.
Okay,
So if they end up boosting their contractual work up to 400,000 instead of 200, that
And reduce
contingency
the
number
contingency.
will just go down 200.
okay.
So right now, assuming any change, crazy changes don't happen, there's a potential they could be making a decent profit next year.
And do they owe us money?
Correct, they do owe us money, so that could be a paid.
How much money they owe us?
A lot. Don't have an exact number on it, but it's between 2 to 3 million.
I knew that was a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when that money was,
over many years.
for,
I'm working on figuring that out, but
okay,
it could have been for anything. A lot of it, from what I've seen, is at a time they didn't have any cash flow. We were paying for their bills and such.
okay. Is that, but is that that has to be a recognized debt, right?
Correct, just like the parking authority.
Right, but do
Similar
they
number.
recognize it? Do
They understand that there is something, and I don't have an exact number for
Well,
them.
that's the exact number is important. so-
Correct. When I have the exact number for them, I told them I will give them a best report, an explanation on what this number makes up, and
Okay. And maybe a payment plan.
yeah,
Well, it's whatever they make us a profit.
is a
Yeah.
profit, right?
That's us.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So we're hoping here they can keep these expenses low and end up making a good
I
profit.
mean, just in order for them to see that they make a profit, but that
But also,
money,
I would think it would hurt their bonding.
yeah, our rating, although we did get a good bond rating,
Yeah, we
but
did.
they were a little stressed over the
Biggest
water
thing that held us
departments.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all,
It's our bond rating.
it's all-
I'm saying, wouldn't it hurt the water department?
they get bonded through us. All of our bonding are together.
So they get bond through, so
Sure.
so it doesn't, it's all gets in the wash.
Sure.
Okay.
yeah, but that would be good to see the
Yeah.
actual numbers,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and in black and white.
Yes,
And we need them to
Irrefutable.
budget to pay that down over time.
correct. Yeah, so the goal is that contingency line will pseudo be, the amount they could pay back.
Right.
That's what they could shoot for.
Yeah, and that would add to our budget, right? Our revenue.
Correct. If we can know they're gonna reliably get that back here.
Okay. so-
And they plan to continue increasing the rates. Every January, 10% is what they plan to do as of right now. And we'll see how they're
Yeah, I've
doing.
heard a lot of complaints about that.
Whatever complaints all over Rockland County.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Water
I have no
rate.
idea, I just,
Water rates going up everywhere because
We pay the
the,
highest water rates in the state,
Yeah.
in
Well,
Rockland
That's
County.
crazy.
Yeah.
Why is everything so expensive here?
Cause the
Why not?
Public Service
it's
Commission
such a
needs
great
us.
place to live.
Do they?
Why is the Four
public-
Seasons so expensive
It's-
compared to the holidays? Is it-
Look, I know the investments being made in the PFAS plant and all of that stuff. but
Yes.
Obviously, that's.
That's
clear,
the big, that's the big
That's
thing.
the big
That's,
thing.
I mean, the water's cleaner than it was 10 years ago.
Which, by the way, I want to talk to you about, about the village or the water department buying RO stations. You put in 25 cents and you get a gallon of purified water. There's a lot of municipalities that are offering that.
Oh, I've seen that.
I'll send you some information about it. Okay,
Isn't that more in the Massachusetts, New England area?
Yeah,
That's what-
they're doing it up in like Newburgh area too.
Are they? That's kind of cool.
there are a couple of vendors that do these, machines that, and they maintain them and, it's
Bring your
sensible.
bottle and refill
Bring a
it.
bottle and fill it and,
Right.
So anyway, I'll get you the information about it.
So Kyle, nerdy budget question.
Uh-huh.
Why is it that in the water department budget, we have a line which sort of speaks to paying back the debt?
Well,
But we
it's
don't in
not,
parking.
it's not speaking to paying back the debt. Currently, it's just your excess money. It could go to anything. It's just a continue, it's just your,
And what line do we put that
Gotcha.
under?
it's
It's
contingency. It's line
Oh.
24.
It bugs me that we can't actually just budget for that. It's an important thing to pay.
Yeah, I mean, we can if we knew it was we knew we were gonna get it, but
Right.
there's a lot of things that I know could happen that
Right.
it's not a guarantee.
But if they have a number that they have to.
But it would drive their budgeting. If they knew that they need to make $200,000 debt payment, then everything else
Gets built around
would get
that.
modeled.
I
To include
don't
that.
disagree with you, yes.
And if they,
So why
if
don't
they
we do
were
that
paying
for
us
parking and
back,
for water? Just put in the $200,000 and then we'll work it out. They'll raise their rates more, we'll cut somewhere, we'll figure it out.
It's not, yeah, we can do that. I'm not saying we can't, but then they have to be able to incorporate, like, for example, parking, you're already negative, you gotta increase more then
Right.
to compensate for
Yeah.
it, to know.
But that
you're-
is an obligation that we need to budget for paying that debt down over time.
I don't disagree.
even if they were paying the debt down, just recognize it doesn't affect our budget doesn't affect the village budget. If they were paying that debt down, right? That wouldn't.
We can include it as an expense on theirs and a revenue on ours if we know we're gonna get the money.
If we knew we were gonna get it, the
Correct.
same way the $300,000 for the,
Correct.
but we don't include the payback of the debt by the parking authority on our budget.
We don't. We can if we like to, we can.
Okay.
But if we include it on one, we gotta include it on the other, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Anything else on water?
I must say, this is very easy.
Yes.
Yeah, this is,
He
I
really
did
did a
not
good
feel lost at
job.
all.
yeah.
Not at all. He just followed everything.
Kyle
Great
has been
job.
doing a wonderful job of kind of mopping up this village's finances.
And always doing it with a smile. Like,
Stem to stern, I mean, really remarkable. I mean, there's so many ways in which public sector is often this deferred management, there's just a lot of things that slip through the cracks and he's just grabbing them.
One thing at a time.
But I do have one complaint,
Uh-huh.
one complaint. There are no pie charts and bar graphs.
I'm done.
I didn't do my trust issue, that was my fault. I'll get to them. I just have been so.
I'm joking.
But no, I still want to do them because I still think, I actually did. Now, there's just a revenue, there's just the yearly revenue, the yearly expenses are up in the NIAC.link/budget 27 link.
I mean,
That's there.
the obvious part about it is that this font is just not large enough for you to see, so you can make your pie charts, and we understand that, Joe. We do.
I have a
More
very
pie,
good relationship
more
with the parking guys and the tow truck operator that would have over.
You too, an excellent
I could-
relationship.
We'll see how that goes. We'll see where they go. There's deputy and then there's mayor. They have to, they respond to hierarchy.
There's deputy, and then there's the
Cars are
deputy's
queued.
parking spot in her private parking lot where my car lives. Just saying.
All right, yes, you can make fun of me for being old, that's fine. I'm aged and my eyes are bad. And this light was terrible. Before you got here, the light was terrible.
I believe you.
Well, yeah, this will be great.
Once they
When we
get
get
that,
to-
Yeah, and this all redone.
All right, we don't have to do a formal adjournment, but I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
You can turn off the owl.